store.
Well, we really appreciate you spending some time with us. We know you're coming to the end of your stay up there, and you know, very little time, and you're real busy. But we just wanted to ask you a couple questions. You know, one thing that's been going on down here is we've really been enjoying this great photography, these images you've been sending down, and it almost looks like it's science fiction or some kind of Hollywood stuff. But there's no way anyone could imagine this, of how beautiful it is. And so we're wondering, how did you do this? Well, how do you get those great shots that you've been getting up?
Well, first of all, it started with some good equipment that we have, and particularly the low light stuff. It's the D3 camera has some really amazing low light capabilities, and then it was good training. The training team at JSC, I told them I was interested in this kind of stuff, and so we worked on it some. I started with the training and the procedures up here, and then I started practicing, and that's one of the great things about a long duration mission. On a shuttle mission, you're good if you can point a camera to the window and take a few snapshots.
Yeah, because the nighttime imagery is so amazing, because it's so hard to get. Up until now, you know, recently that you've been able to do it like this, you see all these beautiful scenes during the day that we can get because there's plenty of light, and you can see it with your eye. You know, at nighttime it's like this magical place. It's like this magical place. It's like this magical place. It almost looks like it's science fiction or some kind of Hollywood stuff. It's like this magical place. It almost looks like it's science fiction or some kind of Hollywood stuff.
When Allen Dulles brought in all the Nazi scientists and so forth, they went to two places. They went to CIA, and they went to the National Aeronautics and Space Administration, which in our world we call it not a space agency.
It's like this magical place. It almost looks like it's science fiction or some kind of Hollywood stuff.
How are you today? Good. Hey, how you doing? How's Bubbles in Space doing? How's what? Bubbles in Space?
Bubbles in space?
Yeah.
I don't know what that is.
No? You Mr. Kelly?
Yeah.
Oh yeah? You don't remember the question from Tampa about the bubbles in space coming up from the helmets? No. Yeah, you guys are in an underwater pool, remember? We know, just remember.
What's up, man? Can you sideline the hashtag bubbles in space?
Hashtag bubbles in space?
Bubbles in space, brother. What's your word on it?
What is that?
Yeah, you were asked that 2 times in the past couple months, actually, about bubbles coming out in the spacewalks.
Oh, you're that guy.
I'm not that guy. I'm one of those guys.
Yeah,
though,
I'm not gonna write that.
And then,
thank you so much.
There you go.
Astronauts on harnesses as well. Anything to say about that?
Do I have anything to say about it?
Yeah.
I have anything you want me to say about it. What do you want me to say?
Whatever your thoughts are. I just want your honest opinion.
1 second.
About what?
There's video evidence of guys hanging from harnesses in the International Space Station.
Sure,
keep going. There's
you
a very
can
long
find
line.
video
Thank you so much.
evidence
Can you
of
please step
anything
forward?
you
Thank
can
you so
imagine.
much.
And in case there are any conspiracy theorists out there, how would you prove to us that you're in zero gravity?
Well, let me tell you something about the space station. It's only really there in your imagination. That thing ain't real. It's science fiction. It's there to feed your space addiction. Those astronauts are not in space. It's written all over their stupid face. See, I can spot a lie from 100 miles, and I can spot a fraud from the way they smile. Didn't you learn nothing from the fake moon mission? That puppet show from President Nixon. Well, listen up, they're doing it again, it seems. Check out the harnesses and green screens. I used to work a lot in film and TV. I know a bit about the television trickery to create the illusion that you're somewhere that you're not. A green screen is what you're gonna use a lot. Or if you wear a harness and attach it to the ceiling, the illusion that you're floating is what they'll be believing. All you're watching is a puppet show, yeah, the whole world's a stage. Astronauts, they're actors, of course, and yeah, they all get paid. Look at me, ma, I'm floating in space. No, you're not, you're lying to the human race.
Sweet, Ronnie, family, and Peter, good to see you. Hey, welcome aboard, everybody. Welcome to our little zero-G fantasy land. Welcome to our little zero-G fantasy land. Fantasy land. Fantasy land. Your eyes, your eyes. Your eyes, your eyes. There you go, playing your song way up here, I think. Your eyes, your eyes, your eyes.
That history-making spaceflight, what's being called the dawn of a new space age. Billionaire Richard Branson, now the first person to reach the edge of space in his very own spacecraft.
To all you kids down there, I was once a child with a dream, looking up to the stars. Now, I'm an adult in a spaceship. Oh, this is unbelievable. This is too unbelievable. This is too unbelievable. This is too unbelievable.
7, 6, 5, 4. Command engine start. 2, 1.
That's incredible. To space. Unbelievable. Is it everything you thought it would be? Here, look. Oliver. Move your head just a little.
That's great.
Can you move your head a little while it
Oh, yeah. Hi, Mom. I love it.
Oh, wow. Look at the blackness of space.
Everything you saw take place in the video that they presented us with can easily be achieved by doing parabolic maneuvers in an airplane specially designed for such parabolic maneuvers. Now, once you do these parabolic maneuvers, anyone inside the aircraft at the time is going to experience quote-unquote weightlessness, or what it would be like in a zero-gravity environment. What's really going on is a person is free falling because the airplane is dipping its nose down and then tipping the nose back up and then dipping the nose down and tipping the nose back up.
So let me tell you something about a zero-G plane. This thing flies up and then down again. Some weird stuff happens if you're on the inside. You start to float as the plane takes a dive. Simply add an actor that's trained to deceive, and you got yourself an astronaut, or so you believe. So when you see an astronaut aboard the ISS, take another look at your TV set. They're pretty good at faking, so you gotta look close. Pay some attention to the way the actor floats. If you ask me, that ain't zero gravity, but Hollywood effects that I see on my TV. Take a good look at the whole damn thing. These lying bastards are just puppets on a string. It's all a big science fiction puppet show. The game's up, NASSholes, cause we all know. Thanks for the show, NASA. It's been a blast. Now take your fake station and shove it up your... All you're watching is a puppet show. Yeah, the whole world's a stage. Astronauts, they're actors, of course, and yeah, they all get paid. Look at me, Ma, I'm floating in space. No, you're not, you're lying to the whole human race.
Did you know that NASA has hundreds of these satellite balloons up in the air right now? Google and many other companies have fleets of these balloons as well. Look up Project Loon. The fact that NASA and its subsidiaries hardly discuss these so-called satellites was a huge proof for me, because it evinces a deliberate effort to conceal the fact that space satellites don't exist. The whitewash of these balloon satellites is evidence that they are lying about space satellites. These high-altitude balloons can carry 8,000 pounds and include telescopes, radar equipment, communications equipment, internet, etc. Here's one that almost killed some people. Finally, look at these actual NASA videos of satellites. They are manifestly fake. Look at this one. Look at this one. Look at this one. Look at this one. Look at this one.
Let's go over a timeline that I made. I tried to keep it as simple as possible. Alright, so in 1915, NACA was founded, the National Advisory Committee for Aeronautics. NACA was established by the federal government, and their mission statement was, "It shall be the duty of the Advisory Committee for Aeronautics to supervise and direct the scientific study of the problems of flight with a view to their practical solution." In 1923, Disney was founded. Walt Disney, of course, grew up in the Demolay, a young boy's version of Masonry. It's pretty clear that Disney and NASA are connected.
Buzz, I can't believe you were actually in space!
Yeah, it's true. I was the first space ranger to visit the International Space Station.
Way to go, Buzzarino!
Let me show you.
It was a fantastic program between NASA and Disney to send Buzz up and did a tremendous education program, you know, for children all over the world, and I was so proud.
Continuing on, in 1936, JPL, the Jet Propulsion Laboratory, was founded, in part by Jack Parsons, an avid follower of Aleister Crowley and a member of his fraternal organization, the OTO, Ordo Templi Orientis.
During the 1930s and 1940s, the OTO Lodge in California was headed by a brilliant young rocket designer called Jack Parsons. Jack Parsons developed patented rocket technology, which is still in use by NASA to this day. NASA named a crater on the dark side of the moon in honor of Jack Parsons. Jack Parsons worked during the day to develop rocket propulsion systems which would serve NASA's space program, which was controlled by ex-Nazi SS officers such as Wernher von Braun, who had been brought to the USA by the CIA's Project Paperclip. At night, Jack Parsons would hold sex magic rituals in his house in Pasadena.
Jack Parsons also hung out with L. Ron Hubbard, the founder of the Church of Scientology, which holds sci-fi-like religious beliefs, including the belief of a galactic dictator named Xenu. Jack Parsons and L. Ron Hubbard both practiced black magic and participated in sex magic rituals together. In 1954, Walt Disney and the father of rocket technology in the United States, Wernher von Braun, meet and make 3 films about space exploration. One was called Man in Space.
Here to introduce you to this new series is Walt Disney.
In our modern world, everywhere we look, we see the influence science has upon our daily lives. Discoveries that were miracles a few short years ago are accepted as commonplace today. Many of the things that seem impossible now will become realities tomorrow.
Walt Disney was fascinated by rockets. Which in the occult circles are modern-day obelisks. Obelisks are erected all over the Earth plane, and they symbolize domination, power, and political authority. The word obelisk translates to ball's shaft. Therefore, an obelisk is a penis. Just a couple years later, in 1958, NACA is transformed into NASA. And the space program begins with projects like Mercury and Gemini.
the Vector, NASA's official logo. If you've ever looked at NASA's official logo, both their official insignia and their official seal, you'll see that the most prominent object in the seal is a red swooshing object. They call that the chevron. Or if you ask NASA's Public Affairs Office, this symbology is featured so heavily in their insignia and seal, they'll give you what really amounts to the standard facile cover story for the unilluminated. They'll tell you that that is a representation of a hypersonic wing design from the 1950s, which was the time the logo was created. Not exactly the case. Someone might want to ask the Russian Federal Space Agency, Roscosmos, that was formed in 1992, why they chose that same logo. And while you're at it, you can go ask the Chinese, who formed their space agency in 1996, why in the world they're using a hypersonic wing design from the 1950s as their official logo. Then you can ask the Japanese, the South Koreans, Taiwanese, Malaysia, Mexico, Iran, all of these countries, even Bulgaria. They all utilize the Vector symbology in their space agency logos for their national space agencies. It gets even deeper, and it carries on to the Space Shuttle program. If you look at the Apollo logo has a big letter A in it. At least that's what they want you to believe, but it's not. Again, that's just a simple way of explaining away the inclusion of this Vector symbology in the logo. If you go to the Space Shuttle program, the original Space Shuttle STS program patch is a triangular patch that, again, hides the use of the chevronic Vector symbology. And that also goes for many of the STS-specific mission patches. Every single one of the International Space Station expedition patches carry the Vector symbology. The Russian Mir space station used the Vector symbology. That was their official logo. And you can even go deeper and look at military-industrial complex companies. Look at the logo on a company like Lockheed Martin, 2 vectors. The X-Prize logo, Ames Research Labs, U.S. Space Command. When you get into the military realm, the United States Space Command, their official logo is the Vector symbol. And when you look at the military's individual space-specific programs, all of them deal with Vector symbology in their official insignias. And the question really becomes, who or what are these people paying homage to? And the truth, quite frankly, is out of this world.
In 1966, filmmaker Stanley Kubrick meets with NASA employees as well as Arthur C. Clarke. Pretty damning photograph. 3 years before the first moon landing, Kubrick just happens to be running with NASA and a well-known author of science fiction books, who also predicted satellites in 1945. Arthur C. Clarke's work includes Childhood's End, which was made into a 3-part series on Sci-Fi Channel in 2015. Very interesting series with so-called aliens, but they look like the epitome of Satan, and they come to usher in the new golden age for humanity.
There is no need to be afraid.
In 1968, Arthur C. Clarke wrote 2001: A Space Odyssey. It was developed concurrently with Stanley Kubrick's film version. Fun fact, between 1968, when the movie was made, and 2001, when the movie takes place, that is exactly 33 years. They did the exact same thing with 9/11. The Twin Towers began construction in 1968, and they were knocked down in 2001, exactly 33 years later. Anyway, this not only served as practice for Stanley Kubrick, as he was given pointers on how space should be portrayed by Arthur C. Clarke, but this was also mental conditioning for the masses. 2001: A Space Odyssey was the #1 movie in the box office in 1968. And 1 year later, in 1969, Apollo 11 claims to land men on the moon for the first time. Later on in the same year, Apollo 12 lands men on the moon for the second time. Then in 1971, both Apollo 14 and 15 successfully land men on the moon. In 1972, both Apollo 16 and 17 also successfully land men on the moon. So that's 6 successful moon landings between 1969 and 1972. And it just suddenly stops there. From then on, most of the world believes that NASA really goes to a place called outer space, and anyone that disagrees is an ignorant conspiracy nut lacking in education. It's not all their fault though. The propaganda is rampant. In 1981, MTV launches and does their first broadcast with the use of NASA imagery.
7, 6, 5, 4. We've gone for main engine start. We have main engine start.
Ladies and gentlemen, rock and roll.
MTV even uses an astronaut on the moon as the logo for movies. And they give out the astronaut statue for Best Music Video Award. This is because MTV is ran by Freemasons. They even operate out of a Freemasonic temple. You see, NASA is also a Masonic entity. Most, if not all, NASA astronauts belong to a lodge, like our buddy Buzz Aldrin here.
Oh, NASA's faking everything that you have ever seen. And as for flying to the moon, well, they ain't never been. Indeed, my friend, their line scum is there for you to see. Just take some time, look into it, and the truth will set you free. And finally it was clear to me to why these bastards lie. And finally it was clear to me about the reasons why. It's all about control, you know, to get inside your head. It's true satanic mind control from the Freemasonic gang. You see, it's only Freemasons that get to go to space. They're the evil bastards who are lying to your face. Yeah, NASA's pretty evil, man. The whole thing is such a fraud. The only reason they exist is to hide a loving God. Oh, NASA's faking everything that you have ever seen. And as for flying to the moon, well, they ain't never been. Indeed, my friend, their lying scum is there for you to see. Just take some time, look into it, and the truth will set you free. Yeah, NASA's pretty evil, man. They're a lying scumbag. Take some time, man. Look into it. I did. Now my mind is truly blown.
Freemasons are just drudges in the grand scheme of things. They do a lot of grunt work for the Grand Deception and the New World Order. So when you're looking at this timeline, this is the timeline of deception with the space programs of the world, pretending like outer space is a real thing.
When you realize NASA, they got 19.3 billion in taxpayers' money this year. And all they have to do is enough of Hollywood to give us enough photos and stories and hypnotize us and connect with our inner child.
And so they send these rockets up, but they don't really go anywhere.
Yeah, if you watch the trajectory,
Right.
it's never straight. It's never straight. It's never straight. Where are you going?
sorry to tell you, the only thing that's been to space is your imagination. There is no such thing as space. Where are you going?
This world is sound asleep. Deceived at every turn. With no perception of reality. Because our reality was hidden from us. Hidden by those who run this world. Who runs this matrix we call reality. Do you think this is real? Or this? All mankind has been deceived. And we have been from the very beginning. Even those who think they are running it all. Those who think they are fooling the masses. With the CGI and smoke and mirrors. In the end, they are the ones who have fallen for the biggest lie. Because I'm pretty sure worshipping Lucifer doesn't pay. No, seriously.
So many times you reached out to me, but I turned my back 'cause I didn't think you had what I need. And now you're everything. You're everything to me, and I can't be without you. You're everything, and I want to say thank you. I was lost and you found me. I was dead inside and you breathed into me, and you brought these bones to life. I want to say thank you. Thank you for saving me. Thank you for loving me unconditionally, God. You stood with open arms, but I ran away, 'cause I was scared of the pain that came with trust. But I came running back into your embrace, because I knew you'd still be there. You'd never leave me, God. And I want to say thank you. I was lost and you found me. I was dead inside and you breathed into me, and you brought these bones to life. I want to say thank you. Thank you for saving me. Thank you for loving me unconditionally, God. And I don't deserve you, God. I don't deserve you, God. stop loving me, God. Now I want to say thank you. I was lost and you found me. I was dead inside and you breathed into me, and you brought these bones life. I want to say thank you. Thank you for saving me. Thank you for loving me unconditionally, God. Oh, thank you.